Okay, now that you've watched the intro video on our strategy with this waterfall wagering, I'm going to go through an actual real life example of when we put in the past. So this is actually on February 1st of 2025. So again, not important for you to follow all of what we did and why we did it, just the concept. So you'll kind of understand what we're trying to accomplish here. It's not the big win like the intro video talks about. It's just having a consistent profit. So let's go through what we did here. On February 1st at 10 a.m., we put a $10 parlay in to win 178. And here are the bets. Here are the games in that parlay. There were six of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The parlay was put in at 10 o'clock. This game, which was a college basketball game, started at 11 o'clock. Washington, money line, 175. The next game was also started at 11 o'clock. Tennessee, money line, minus 225. 1 p.m., Auburn, money line, minus 250. 1 p.m., Wisconsin, money line, minus 145. 2:30 p.m., Michigan, money line, minus 190. And then at 3:30 p.m., Michigan State, money line, minus 190. Now, we do go back when we have time and we just highlight these. So if you see red up in the top where the parlay was the date of the parlay and the time and the amount, that means we lost that parlay, which is going to happen for most of the parlays. That's the whole idea, that you've got these waterfall wagers. So what we did then at 4:20 p.m., because we were kind of in the game here, but at 4:20 p.m. we realized we were at risk here with Michigan State. So we started another parlay, a waterfall parlay at 4:20 p.m. We put in USC instead of Michigan State. So that hedged against this one here, which ultimately you can see we end up losing. So that strategy worked. We always want to have a waterfall open. We can never close. We'll never be at risk of closing out a parlay, losing it, and not having something open, because that would mean that we would have lost that whole sequence. And the idea here is to be profitable for every anchor parlay and then waterfall that we put in. So again, out here we put in USC to hedge 105 plus 105, and then these other I'm not going to go through each one, but each game here we put in, you can see we lost this one, we won this one, we lost this one. So the whole waterfall parlay again was a loss. But we didn't stop there. As these games unfolded, you can see at 6:15 p.m. we put another $50 parlay in to win 127, and we put in Texas Tech money line 158 to hedge against one of them up here. And then we put this one in with it that started at 7 p.m. Marquette money line minus 260. And again, you can see they lost. So we lost this waterfall. Now you get down to here. We put this one in at 7:30 p.m., $200 to win 447. And ultimately, we won this waterfall. So you'll see in the summary when I go over that in a second, this is what saved us. We ended up making a profit on the whole sequence. So you can see we did, while these games were going on, we put in more waterfall hedges to make sure we didn't lose this one. So we put another one in at 8:45 p.m. And then this parlay actually went into the next day, because you can see February 1st and then February 2nd. So these games were the next day. So we the next day on February 2nd, we continued to put waterfall wagers in. Waterfall E was a hedge, and you can see we lost that one. And waterfall F was a hedge as well, and we lost that one. So you can see the only one we won in the sequence was waterfall C. If we go up to the summary here, you'll see all of these were losses. And what we do here is we total up all of our investment. So you remember the first one was $10, and we put a 50, 50, then a 200, then 50, 50, 100. All of those were losses, but this was a win. So this was a $647 take home. We invested $510. We ended up with a profit of $137, and this anchor/waterfall was closed out profitably. And then we started another one. So this particular one went over 2 days. Sometimes we'll get them done in a day. Sometimes we have had times when it's taken a week to turn something profitable with an investment of up to, I think the most investment we ever had to make was about, I believe, close to $3,000 in a bankroll. And that one went for a week, and we ended up turning a profit. Wasn't a huge profit, but the whole idea is to turn a profit. So hopefully that explains the concept. That's somewhat understandable. Again, if you're interested, click on the link below. It'll bring you to a spot where you can see the pricing for following us daily. So what we're going to do is daily, just to give you an idea, what we do is we'll post a morning suggested parlay, and then as the games unfold, usually during the weekdays, it'll be only in the evenings because not much going on. By the weekends, it's pretty active because there's games all day. We'll be posting in the comment section, we'll be posting our waterfall wagers or suggested wagers. Again, we'll never put wagers in for you. We're not a bookmaker or a bookie. We are only giving you suggestions so you can follow along. And if you decide to place parlays based on our suggestions, that's your prerogative. And you can try it out for a while and see how successful we are. And I really think that you'll see that's a very different way of looking at, it's like a hedge fund. So when you hedge fund managers in the stock market, they're hedging their bets all the time. That's all we're doing here, and we're good at it. It's not easy. It's not easy to come up with these waterfall parlays, which is why most people can't do it on their own, because number one, it takes a lot of thought, and number two, it takes a lot of time. And nobody really has the time to do that. So if you just follow along with what we're doing, maybe you can ride our coattails to, a profitable situation over, a long period of time. I'll stop there. Hope everything was valuable. Click on the link below if you're more interested in more information. And if our paths never cross again, may all your waterfalls dump you into oceans of profits. Thanks again.